Yes, sir. It's the 9 to 5 Sports Guys. It's your boy T.
It's your boy TJ.
It's your boy Nam.
Now I'm over there doing hookah, or we trying to get an episode in.
Hey,
How y'all fellas doing today?
Good, man. Good.
another day in paradise, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I know y'all heard about the good news that we got. Through the midst of everything that's going on, we finally getting some sports back.
Sure could use some.
Yeah, you need some form of distraction, competitive distraction at least.
Right.
Now, currently, we have football. They didn't plan on canceling anything, so football they was on schedule as planned. But basketball
They're gonna shorten the preseason though. Well, they're thinking about doing just 2 preseason games, and possibly skipping the Hall of Fame game.
Yeah, the last I seen, they was going to skip the Hall of Fame game and shorten the preseason. But isn't this the season that they get an extra game? They get 17 games.
Next year, 2021.
No, they were going to start. They were going to do it for this season. It was supposed to start immediately for this season coming up.
No, they get the 2 extra playoff seeds, right?
Right.
2021. Okay. No, it's not this year. 2021.
2020. Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna get into the bread and butter of the NBA. The NBA is starting on July 30th.
July 30th and 31st. Those are the 2 nights.
Now, that's a Thursday. The first game is going to be, what time is that? 6:30, and then the next game is going to be 9. Now, the first game, we start off with Utah and the Pelicans. That's a start off to finish the regular season. Each team has 8 games remaining, and it's 22 teams that are participating for the remainder of the season. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Go ahead.
I think the Pelicans will find a way to slide in, man, and I think they're gonna push their they have a reason to play now, and they're fully healthy. You know, Zion missed early in the season with health issues. I think he's fully rested now.
Plus, that team's more talented than Memphis.
Yeah, and I anticipate. Well, I'm looking forward to see how Gobert and Mitchell work out their differences on the court or whatever it may be. You remember they were saying they had a rift about him catching it or him not taking it serious, the COVID thing. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch. Ready to see what LeBron and the Lakers look like because, of course, Dwight was very vocal about omitting the season for protests and the Black Lives Matter issues. And Avery Bradley opted to not play. So that's going to be interesting to see what that looks like. The Clippers are fully rested. Paul George and Kawhi have been back and forth. What is it? Something I don't even know the term no more. What is it called? Load management? It should feel like it's been so long.
Load management, yes.
Yeah, so there's no reason for load management no more. I'm interested to see how they gel collectively. And it's I think it'll be a dogfight the first night, bro. I really think it'll have playoff implication and
CJ.
Well, my thing, CJ. But anyway, I mean, you know, the sport itself is going to be interesting. You know, not just to see the players, but just to see how all of the players, including stars, come back from this hiatus we've been in. We don't know how their body's going to react from being down for so long. Granted, they are superstars and professionals, but, you know, at the same time, you know, the body is what it is, you know. I mean, you can work out all day and, you know, lift weights and run up hills, but, you know, being in professional sport, NBA shape is a little different than just being in regular shape. So,
you can't simulate intensity because it's going to be very intense these last 8 games leading into the playoffs. It'll be an intense atmosphere.
Yeah, and it's going to be, you know, in a confined area on top of that. So, you know, with no fans. So, it's, you know, like we said before, it'll be like backyard basketball. playground basketball. See who can bring it.
Now, the interesting thing is they have this format, this new format that they're introducing.
Yeah.
Huh?
No. I had some other things I wanted to add to that, but it's okay. Go right ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, I also wanted to see, how the NBA draft is going to be affected by this as well. It's not going to be the same. I said one time before that, teams pretty much know who they're going to draft.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but at the same time, do you draft it based off needs, or do you draft based off trying to beat these teams? Like LA. Do you draft a player based on that need of beating that particular person, superstar on that team? So it's going to be different.
Right. That's what I asked last. I think it was maybe 2 episodes that we did ago. Like, how does the playoffs dictate what happens in the draft? Are you going to draft based on what you need, or what you're going against, or what you see that you're going to be facing next season, type of thing?
Right.
Honestly,
That and how does this play out? My bad, Terrence. How does this playoffs and these 8 games affect the awards and the accolades? Does it affect it at all, or do we just go based on what happened before the shutdown?
Yeah, I don't think that should have anything to do with it. Regular season awards. We didn't finish 20 games, 22 games, something like that.
Yeah.
So just base it off the other games that you've already played already.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. Well, what I was going to say about the draft is what they can do is I think they're still going to have like the workouts. I think, they'll probably, if they do have the workouts, they'll obviously test everybody participating and, still try to have like the combine, because it's really hard to draft someone when you haven't seen them play or you haven't seen them really be competitive with anyone in months.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't really have nothing to go off of. So, I guess they're still going to bring them to workouts or whatever, test them or whatever. But
I'll tell you what, from looking at, I know I might have been a little bit against him before, but LaMelo Ball, man. I mean, kid is a talent, man. I didn't really look at him as like his stalking brother, Mr. T did. I haven't looked at him like that, like he has. But recently I've taken a look at him, and what's my guy name? James Wiseman.
Yeah.
And Anthony Edwards. Those
he
three
might
guys
go number one.
Either one could go, but I really think LaMelo probably be the one going number one.
Hey, shout out to Terrence though, because Terrence called us.
He did.
What? Summer last year, maybe. LaMelo.
Oh yeah.
Play the applause. Play the applause button in the background.
I'll give you your just credits right here and right now. Like you called it.
Go ahead and play the applause button in the background.
I mean, like I said, the only reason why I was even saying that is because I seen the kid play against older guys. He wasn't playing against his peers. Ever since he was at high school, he's been playing against older people. He's been playing with
you called it even in the AAU high school circuit that he was in. You called it since then. So I like, okay.
So, well, by him playing at 6'7", probably 6'8", you already.
He was even smaller than he was like 6'4".
I'm saying now.
Yeah.
Now he's a stud now. 6'7",
just like
6'8".
He's just like Anthony Anderson. How he got that growth spurt, like.
Yeah. Oh. So. And the thing about it, he kept his skill even, with that growth spurt, so
he labeled as a point guard, actually. So.
Oh, yeah. Now, 8 games, I know we've been craving for sports and we can't ask for too much, but 8 games remaining for everyone. First game, July 30th. Last game is August 5th. Then they're going to go into the playoffs. Now, the new playoff format that they're doing this year, which I think they should do for the rest of, moving forward, is a certain amount of games that if the 8th seed and the ninth seed are competing for that spot, they have to do a playing game, basically like the NCAA tournament. They have
Right.
you make the tournament, but you play you do the playing game to play the number one seed. So I think that's going to be interesting this year because you have a few teams from the West that's competing for that eighth spot, and then I think you only have one or two teams from the East that's competing for the eighth spot in the East. But that's going to be interesting. What do you guys take on that? I mean, don't all speak at once.
I like
Trying
the
to work on
format,
my
man.
patience,
It
brother.
makes it more competitive. It gives us something to look forward to, especially not knowing who's going to get in. The play-in games are just as exciting as the actual tournament itself or whatever. Like just how it is in the NCAA. Like we watch the play-in games sometimes because they're not the best teams, but they are so similar and so even that you want to see who wants it more. Even though you know the outcome, possibly when if the 8 seed plays the 1, they'll probably get eliminated. But just to see them 2 8 seeds compete, it's competitive. I like it. They should keep it this way, like you mentioned.
Well, we probably will give them the edge if they were playing their own arenas, but no, not at this point.
Yeah, but I don't think there's no edge right now. There's no crowd, so the whole
That's what I'm saying.
play better here or there doesn't really matter.
That's
like you were saying earlier, it's whoever brings it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You know, if they were playing their own respective arenas, if you say, okay, you know, Lakers got their home court advantage, then, you know, of course, you know, the crowds make a big difference. But right here, you have no interference. You be playing backyard ball, practice pickup games, basically. So I mean, there really is no edge to go ahead and say, well, I know for a fact they're gonna go ahead and beat these guys.
Yeah, right. So it's like an organized scrimmage.
Mm-hmm.
Now I got an interesting question for both of y'all. Being is that there's only 22 teams that are competing. You know how most years you got some teams that are tanking for the lottery or whatever the case may be. Now they changed the whole lottery selection. Do you think that you'll see the best basketball of this season because everybody that's involved has something to play for? Compared to if you would have had all the teams, you got some teams, even though they're not making the playoffs, try to play spoiler, but then you have some teams that are completely laying down tanking. So you literally have 22 teams that are trying to make the playoffs. What do you guys think? Guys' thoughts on these are 8 games that you might see some of the best basketball of the season?
Well, I don't know if it'll be the best basketball. It could be, but like I said before, this benefits guys like James Harden and Westbrook, and you know it benefits those guys because now they can go foolish. Well, they're already doing the shooting 50-footers anyway. So, like if pick up basketball, you can do what you want. I think the rules, the NFL referees or officials going to be a little lax a little bit until they start getting aggressive. Or until the rounds get further, but I think it's not going to be as it is when you be watching it live television with fans watching and things like that because less people are looking, so less calls will be made.
I think I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it'll probably be the best basketball we've seen in 10 years. Because barring any injuries, of course, hopefully nobody gets injured or anything like that. Because the players have had the same amount of times to rest. So a person like James Harden, who reportedly has lost an X amount of pounds throughout this whole shutdown and quarantine space, he's going to be well rested. Notably, in recent memories, James kind of fizzles out in the playoffs as the rounds get further because he's tired. But there is no excuse no more. You can't use the excuse of being tired because you've had 2.5, almost 3 months off. So everybody's well rested. Everybody's dead even. It's just a matter of who wants it and who's better. So I think we're gonna get the best basketball in terms of that. The best players will show up, and whatever happens, happens.
To say it'll be the best basketball, well, I guess you could be right. But I mean, what do you have to compare it to? We've never done nothing like this. So.
No.
What do we have to compare
in terms
it to?
of health-wise, most of the time is momentum. Whoever has the momentum goes in. Is the person that you lean towards, or the franchise you lean towards, or the player. But right now there is no momentum, and everybody's well rested. So everybody, we'll see the best of everybody's game because everybody's healthy. There's no, this person is dinged up, or I had this nagging injury. None of that. It's you guys had 3 months to rest your body. So equally, everybody should be at some respects. We'll see who's the best, really.
That depends on how major the injuries were to these players as well.
Of course.
Some take much longer to heal than where we are right now. So that really depends.
But think about it, like a team like the Blazers. Imagine if the whole season continued the way it did. You have Zach Collins and Nurkic. They weren't back yet. They're gonna play now. Of course, you're gonna lose Trevor Ariza because he opted to not play.
Yeah.
But the key guys that we've been waiting for all season are healthy, and they're going to be able to play. So we'll see the quote unquote best team on paper that they have on the floor.
Now I'll tell you one thing. I've been calling this, and I know it's not going to happen, but it would have been great if it would have happened. If KD and Kyrie would have played, this would have been exciting. Because you would have had 8
Definitely.
I had a feeling it wasn't going to happen. I had to say that feeling. We'll get to see them next season, But it would have been real interesting to see KD come back from that injury, Kyrie come back, and they both play and make a run. Now with the whole taking a couple of months off or whatever, I think. Real quick, let me get y'all predictions. I think I had Boston or Toronto, but I think the rest, it might help a team, even though they wasn't really injured, but I think it might help a team like Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, the Sixers.
The Sixers, because, Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, they're injury prone. But
the Raptors look great, man. Raptors look good.
Raptors as well, yeah.
Celtics look good, too. I just, if Milwaukee hasn't solved the problem of being able to have that second go-to guy equal to Giannis, then it's going to be pointless. They're going to shut Giannis down again. Playoffs is different than regular season, when it matters. So I've done seen it twice. They got to have – I know Chris Middleton, he's good. He's improved his shooting since being in the G League. And but if you shut Giannis down, I mean, where do you go from here?
Yeah. No, that's true.
My favorite out the East right now is Boston, I'm just using because if we was to go in the gym right now and go play pickup basketball, the youngest guys in the gym tend to have more energy than everybody. Yeah. Even if they didn't play in 4 or 5 months, it's easier for them to just get off the blocks quickly. And they have the talent as well. So I'm leaning towards them. Milwaukee, I like them, but like you guys said, they don't. Their second go-to guy is not as equal or even half of what Giannis is and Chris Middleton, with all due respect.
Yeah.
Chris Middleton is a 20-25 guy. He doesn't. Right. I've never thought of him having a third gear to 30s and 40s or whatever it may be. So that might hurt them a little bit because they were rolling up until the shutdown happened. So it'll be interesting to see how fast
they the best.
Can get that rhythm. Huh?
I said now defensively they the best.
Yeah, defensively they're going to be there, but offensively they don't have that second go-to guy who can match Giannis if need be, or if Giannis is shut down, like you said. Can Chris Middleton carry them up until Giannis can have a defining moment in the fourth quarter or something like that? I don't know. But Boston has multiple guys, and that would be a team. They have the talent and they have the youth.
Well, I got to go with my sleeper in the East. My sleeper in the East is Miami. Yeah, that's my sleeper in the East.
I like Miami as well, but Boston.
And that's based off what you just said, though, because what you said made a good point about the young guys or whatever. The only thing that might hurt Miami is experience, but with the addition of of Andre Iguodala and Crowder. Those are pretty experienced guys, but them young guys are hungry. And obviously we know who my
What do you mean, championship experience or playoff experience? Because Jimmy Butler has playoff experience.
No, playoff experience.
It's
I'm
playoff,
talking about
playoff experience.
Tyler Euro. You got Dunn. I can't.
I know that, but I'm just saying you got Iguodala, you a veteran and playoff experience, championship experience, and Jimmy Butler's also had playoff experience as well.
No, I know, but I'm talking about you got 3 rookies that playing significant minutes. How are they going to do in the playoffs? That's and then you even have
right now. All I can, go ahead.
No, because in Bam too, you got to remember Bam is a first-time All-Star, but this is his first time getting into the playoffs also. So
You're right.
I understand that, but
that's a great point, Terrence. It's a great point.
It is, but it's a bunch of ifs.
Yeah.
Right. We know
it's a bunch of ifs.
We know they're balling right now. They were balling before we went to this COVID-19 thing. They were already balling. So I don't want to say. I see what you're saying though, TJ. You have to see what they look like in the playoffs.
In the playoffs,
their first time.
Yeah,
I understand that.
If they can produce the same way they did in the regular season, that's my sleeper. They're gonna creep up because they was balling. They was balling, and then we all know who my sleeper is in the West.
They still got Dragic too, right?
Goran.
Yeah,
I believe so.
I think they still.
I think he got hurt or something in the season, so he wasn't like fully playing. It was like load management type of thing.
Okay.
So before we switch over to baseball, real quick, who y'all got coming out the East? Who y'all got coming out the West?
I'm going. Oh no, man! I'm going Boston or Milwaukee. I really had Boston, Milwaukee, or Toronto, but Boston being at the top of my list,
mm-hmm.
And out the West, Clippers.
I got to give. He's been consistent all year, so I got to give him that. He's been consistent all year.
I'll say Boston, Milwaukee, and like you said, the sleeper is Miami, depending on how the young guys perform in the playoffs. In the West, I'm also pick 3. I'll say I'm saying LeBron 1.
Okay.
LeBron, not the Lakers. LeBron 1.
LeBron.
He'll figure something out.
Oh, GOAT James.
The Clippers.
Wow.
And then my sleeper is the Rockets because
I was listening to y'all sleeping. You said Miami.
Yeah.
You said Miami was your sleeper.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that team is sort of identical to the Raptors. Look how deep their bench is. So I mean, either one of those teams could be the sleeper in the East.
Yeah, but I'm being biased because that's my.
That's because you're your team. Yeah, I know. I know.
But the difference between Miami and the Raptors been there already. So
exactly. My point,
anything less than the second round for the Raptors is unacceptable.
It's a fail.
They got to get past at least minimum.
They don't have their star power. He's over there in the Clippers right now. So
yeah, but I say the Rockets because I'm interested to see how the health as far as them not playing for 3-4 months. How does that affect James Harden?
Yeah.
How does that affect Westbrook, who has nagging injuries usually when he leads into the playoffs, and then them playing this ultimate small ball of having Terrence playing the center. It's will be interesting to see how it plays out in the playoffs.
It's a high school team right there.
Yeah, it's an AAU team.
So we're gonna go over to baseball. Baseball, they're actually reporting to spring training July 1st. And instead of playing 1,000 games, they're going to reduce it all the way down to 60. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
That makes good sense to me. But their stadiums are barely full anyway until it's postseason. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Unless it's Yankee Stadium,
they can latter half of Yankee Stadium or Boston State or Red Sox.
Yankee Stadium ain't that full. Yankee Stadium be full behind the pitcher's mound, and if you look out there where they're knocking the home runs, there's only people out there with gloves trying to catch the balls. Y'all paid them guys to go out there.
Yankee Stadium is always packed, man. Don't do that.
But yeah, most of those stadiums anyway, if not all of them, they're not completely at full capacity until to the postseason. So I think playing without fans is not really a bother for them, so to speak, because it doesn't really affect them. They probably wouldn't mind the fans getting out of the way when they're going to dive for the balls in the stands and they all in the way all the time.
Yeah. Now baseball has been affected by this, like, bad because they lost about half of their games. Compared to the NBA, there was about 18 games left. Football, they was able to finish last season, and they're gonna start this season. Hockey, are they gonna have a season?
I haven't heard much about them.
Yeah, I haven't really heard too much about hockey, but everybody else from MMA, they're obviously doing events without fans. But baseball, they lost half of their season due to the virus. And unlike
in terms of revenue, there's a major loss there because nobody really watches it anyways, like Troy said, until the latter half of the season or with that playoff push that most teams have.
I tell you one thing, who's not happy about the virus, but happy that the pressure's not on them right now is Houston, the Astros.
Oh yeah, for that little
definitely
scandal stuff they had, yeah.
But it's definitely gonna be interesting to see, what transpires with baseball, and real quick, have you guys been
Go Braves?
have you guys seen videos of Tyson working out? Mike Tyson, the real Tyson.
I seen it, but
right, yeah.
Sparring and being in the ring is two different things, So he looks good though. Don't get me wrong. He looks amazing, but
you don't think he can get back in the ring?
53, he's 53, right? I don't know how
53.
Okay, we already know he's not going to be that 19-year-old again. We know that. Lightning fast. We know that. But I guarantee you couldn't take a punch from him in the face right now.
I'm sure of it. But if he happened to spar somebody, or if he fights somebody that's half his age, I think stamina will be a determining factor there.
Hey, look!
When's the last time
if anybody remember that George Foreman fight, you would rethink that remark you just made.
Yeah, he's 53 though. He's 53. I love Mike. Come on now.
I know that, but George Foreman fought a guy. The guy was way younger than he was. So I
wasn't 53.
One thing Tyson has is experience.
No, he was already making grills. Yeah,
he probably has the intimidation factor too.
Well, yeah, he still got that. No, Mike could be 60 years old. He's still gonna be intimidating.
I'll fight Mike right now. I wouldn't fight Mike at 19.
Nah, I still wouldn't even fight Mike now.
I wouldn't fight him right now either. There's a chance. I wouldn't fight him at 65.
Oh, but yeah, word. Mike, like I said.
So now you won't fight him at 65. And you have his age.
I'm not a professional boxer. You know what I'm saying? So
he ain't been a professional boxer in years either.
Hey, but see, what Mike has is Mike is look. What Mike has, he's from Brooklyn, so them Brooklyn cats be wilding.
Catskill, oh yeah.
But I think he did say he wants to do exhibition fights. I don't think he's gonna fight for like a title, but I think he's gonna, do a couple exhibition fights. I will watch.
Promote.
He gonna be
another Rocky.
I want to see him fight. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah, I want to see him fight.
It's competitive. I don't want to see him fight up and coming 19-year-old or 25-year-old person in their prime.
I want to see him fight Tyson Fury.
Nah,
I don't want to see that.
I don't want to see that.
Nah, I would rather see him fight Tua, the Hawaiian dude. You know what I'm saying? But I tell you what. I tell you a fight I love to see. I love to see. What's his name? Old boy from Britain.
Joshua.
I like to see Lennox Lewis fight Wilder.
Nah, I want to see Anthony Joshua and Wilder though. I want to see that.
Yeah. I think the whole world wants to see that.
Sure.
Now,
quick question, man. Not to go too much off topic, but what's you guys' thoughts on the whole NASCAR and the Bubba situation with the noose and all that?
Okay.
Go ahead, you go first.
I'm just gonna say this real quick. I'm gonna say this. Okay, so
publicity or real?
Wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute. I'm just saying. This is the strangest thing, one of the strangest things I've ever seen. Okay, so, I get a garage, just so happen to have a noose hanging from it now, right? The only black guy in NASCAR, to get a garage, and I end up with a noose in my garage. Now tell me, how do you know it's been in there since October 2019?
Good question.
And how do you know? How do you have a definitive time as to how long that noose been in there? I don't care if you're FBI, whoever you are. My thing is, how can you say that it's been there that long?
Who said that?
That's what the FBI concluded, bro. They said that the noose had been there since October.
That's why they said it wasn't a hate crime. It wasn't against him.
They found no wrongdoing or whatever. That's why I was like, is it a publicity stunt or was it real? You know what I'm saying? What was it?
Dude, you see how long that damn rope was hanging from that ceiling? And no one seen it?
Since October.
Right.
Like,
no one's seen it. But the one man...
How big is this garage? Is it like an airport hangar type shit?
But it's right by the door. It's right by the door. So the one guy that was black who happens to go in there, he's the only one. He's only been there a week, and he's seen it sitting in there. Come on, man. Come on, dog. They must take us for idiots.
What's going on? That's why I wanted to get you guys.
So wait, hold on. So y'all say
idiots, man.
I know y'all not calling Bubba Wallace Jesse Smollett.
Nah.
Juicy Smouye? Juicy Smouye?
Nah, I'm just saying. How can you tell me it's been there? How has it been there since October?
Here. Nevertheless, there's something going on, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't really get in the details with that. I just seen, it popped up that there was a noose hanging. First, I seen there was a noose in a garbage can or something like that. So, I mean, I didn't really get into details. When I seen it, I said I'm not surprised. Not to say NASCAR is racist, but
Oh no, they're racist, bro.
But I mean, I'm from the north, so we don't really do NASCAR. But I wasn't surprised when they said that there was a noose in the garbage can. So
right.
Whatever the case was.
I'm just saying, you go back and look at the picture they released, and that thing is hanging from the ceiling almost, and it's like in front of the door. How can you miss this for for 8 months? You tell me no one noticed that rope sitting there.
Yeah, it's as if like all the white people didn't see it. It's just the only black man he's the only one that happened to see it. He just
they take us for idiots, man. They think we stupid, man. We're not stupid. We're gonna let you go. We'll let you go ahead and say what you want to say, but we ain't stupid. We know.
Now, if being
one thing I learned. Oh, I'm sorry. I do apologize. I didn't mean to cut you off, man.
Go ahead.
But one thing I realized. One thing I realized in this world, we can protest all we want, we can say what we want, and even if they hear it, one thing you can never change is a racist mind.
Oh no,
you're not gonna be able to change it. If that's what they are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Unless they decide to change internally, you're not changing. So it doesn't matter. You're gonna have racist people around.
That's a fact. It's true, but. It was just interesting. I had to ask you guys' take on it.
I'm glad you did. I'm really glad you did.
Because I looked at the FBI report and I was like, I don't know about this one, bro. But whatever. If that's what y'all say, that's what it is, bro.
Right.
I know what I know. It's fine.
Exactly.
So,
go ahead, G.
What I was going to say before I was really interrupted.
I apologize for that, too. So I don't know why you like that.
Nah, as if being a New York Jet fan isn't stressful enough. We've had our best player in the last couple of years ask for a trade, demand for, trade, and that's Jamal Adams.
What take him?
There's the list. Was Atlanta one of the teams that he asked to go to?
No, it wasn't, but I just said
all
that.
right, so yeah, we ain't giving y'all that. But he asked for a trade, and I got to say this, and I'm going to say this on record. If the Jets trade Adams, I'm taking the season off. I'm going to just be an NFL fan. I'm not rooting for the Jets.
Nah, you can't do that. Sorry. I knew that was going to be your next response.
Listen. Dude. It's only so much a fan can tolerate.
Yeah, trust me. I know.
Just pay the man.
But Terrence, it's not even the issue about the money anymore. He said he doesn't get what's your guys' coach name? Geis? Is that his name?
Oh, Adam Gase.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yo, it's the same reasons he got the
it's
boot out of Miami, man.
it's an issue with him because that's the same issue that Le'Veon
Miami.
has with him because I think you guys got to just get rid of the coach.
Now let me ask
I
y'all
don't
a
think he
question.
opposes too much of not being there. It's just the coach seems to be the cancer right now.
He's not a coach
As
player.
always with you guys, Mangini and everybody else.
Let me ask you a question. In the NFL, I know you're gonna be listening and watching this podcast, this episode, and this goes for all teams, all sports and everything. Now, in my opinion, this is my personal opinion. You know, I think that if you are a coach and you get fired, regardless if you had a winning record or not, if you get fired, you should not be able to get a coaching job immediately from getting fired. You should be able to have to wait a year or two to because
I don't agree with that.
I don't know about that, man, because that could just be the system. That could be just the players or
It could be the players. It could be the system.
I'm gonna tell you two coaches. I'm gonna tell you two coaches
right now. It could be the cap
now.
situation that you have when
Hold on, I'm gonna tell you two coaches.
A lot of multitude of things.
Adam Gates, Luke Walton, both got fired and got hired right after they got fired. Didn't take any time off, and none of those teams are doing anything. Now, granted, the Jets lost their quarterback, but still, we haven't played. You know, the Jets we're just been bad over the last couple of years. But in my personal opinion, you have coaches like a Mark Jackson that's still not coaching. Jason Kidd wasn't coaching, and he had some success in developing Giannis. So a guy
did he go to the Knicks?
No. He's on the Lakers right now.
No, Mark Jackson. Did he? Not Mark Jackson, but Jason Kidd.
No, he was. No, as soon as he retired, he started coaching Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, then the Bucks, and then
no, he got fired from the Bucks. But I'm just saying, you got coaches like Mark Jackson, Jason Kidd. Even though Mike Woodson is on the staff, you got coaches that are out there. And Luke Walton did a terrible job. Brown, he did a terrible job in LA, and he gets a job immediately compared to these coaches that don't have jobs.
Well, we don't know if they're not wanting to take jobs, or we don't know if they have been accepted the jobs and refused the jobs. We don't know. We don't know if they just not wanting to coach right now. I mean, Mark Jackson. They even said it himself that he was certainly fine where he was sitting at with Van Gundy. So
that's because he's been blackballed.
Well, I mean, it's no that's not a secret either,
Yeah. So, but that's just my personal opinion because you got coaches that they might not pan out in one place, and they might have success in other places, but give them some time to sit back because the game is always changing. If you didn't have any success, now mind you, you didn't have any success in Miami. What makes you think you're going to come to another bad franchise and have success there? Now Miami's doing better without you, with the backup quarterback. So it's not always the players. Sometimes it's the coaches.
And vice versa. I mean, some players just don't mix with certain coaches and the same thing. I mean, who thought Eric Spoelstra was going to stick around after the small incident dynasty they had with those three big guys? How did we didn't know he was going to stick around because we just thought it was basically LeBron coaching like he always does, and we didn't know that he was going to stick around, and he turned out to be a decent coach. In my opinion,
great coach. He's a great coach.
But. Go ahead, Sam.
No, I was just going to say he's a great coach, and that's how you could determine who's a great coach because he didn't have after that big three. It took a while before he got back to where he is now. But the fact that they have a culture out there, he established a culture. People can sit there and say about the big three, but he's kept that same culture, and look where they're at now.
That was a big help, but. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you saying. He definitely did that. But just certain coaches carry a certain aura around them that can go to any team, and and then there's some coaches that just can't get with the program. It's just how they carry themselves.
Yeah. What you was gonna say now?
I got a prime. Go ahead. I was gonna say I got a prime example. I mean, look at Brown from the 76ers. I mean, him and Iverson. Bump heads, and 1 minute they're good, and and he gets fired, and he wishes to be with him again, and we don't know. See how the carousel is going between player and coach.
Yeah.
So we just don't know.
But can we? Well, do we have enough right to blame ownership and management for, like you use Luke Walton? I feel like the reason why the Lakers picked up Luke Walton is because they seen that he was around the Warriors culture from the development all the way through their championship runs and stuff like
Of
that. So they
course.
figured, hey, maybe he could bring a flavor of what they had going on over there and rebuild this situation here. Of course, it didn't work out, but I think we should also look at the management and ownership of when they make these silly decisions. Like, Luke Walton, to me, has never stuck out to me as a head coach. I think he's more of an assistant or somebody that could be great on the staff.
Mm-hmm.
But he's never stuck out as a head coach to me.
I mean, Luke would probably do better in college and then work his way up to the pros. Because Luke is a he seems more like a player's coach. Like, he could relate to the players, but he should have, you know, and I'm not gonna tell him what to do. If he felt he was ready for the NBA, you know, that's cool. But, you know, it's like you gotta build a rapport with certain players. If you got somebody, let's just say you got an arrogant guy in the locker room, how is he gonna listen to a Luke Walton and he's like, dude, you was never nothing as a player. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
you got to build the respect and your rapport with the players around the league and outside the league too sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, you got some coaches that never played basketball before, so you just can't go and say, well, how should I listen to you? You know, you never played before. Basketball minded, you know. To touch on Nam though, you know, yeah, I believe Luke got his opportunity based off the championship team he was, and that's the case for any sport who wins championships. They're going to look at all players. They're going to look at all coaches on the team because they want a piece of that knowledge that they use to get to win that trophy. But see, that can also be a setup too, because you know, okay, we're going to get this coach. We've seen a lot of coaches that's been taken from championship teams, and they suck the next year on being a first year coach. You know, let's take Hugh Jackson for a minute here. You know, I think he's been on a championship team as far as coaching assistantly. Am I correct? I could be wrong.
Wasn't he on? He wasn't on New England.
Or was he on Baltimore? I don't know what team. He was on some. I think he was on New England.
He was on Baltimore, or even Mangini. Mangini's a great example.
There you go. And so that's championship experience that I'm talking about. But you can't even barely win one game with the Cleveland Browns. Granted, it is the Cleveland Browns, but still, you knew that going into that situation. You put yourself in those positions when you plan for these jobs or whatever.
Yeah,
but that's what I mean by being a setup too. Maybe a championship team. But we don't know what was a collective to get them there. You know, we don't know if it was a coaching staff mindset, the brilliancy of them, or was it just all players? Or was it just all the players that's getting them there? So you take a risk getting a coach or player from a championship team, not knowing what was a contribution of that individual.
I mean, that's a fact. I'm just saying, we need to get rid of Adam Gates. He
definitely needs to go.
He definitely needs to
go.
But
take his staff with him too.
Yeah, just everybody that came with him. Whatever you brought with you, take it with you too. Just like for nobody, you know, for your best player to want to leave, that's not a good thing.
I'll agree with y'all on that GM thing too. GMs, they play major parts. Basketball, football, they play major parts in finally going out here scouting these players and trying to bring them in. Because I mean, who can be Jim Krause? Who could be him? The talent he brought there. You know.
No, look at OKC's GM.
That's what I was going to say next.
3 MVPs in the draft.
3 Hall of Famers. 3 Hall of Famers
in a draft.
And he might have had a little bird in his ear that told him that. He may not have scouted or seen him. Somebody may have told him, you need to, hey, look, this guy's here different.
Yeah, so that's
you know?
I mean that pretty much it's just frustrating being a sports fan and having
well for you, because you're all your teams are pretty bad. Except for the Carolina Terrans, all your teams are pretty bad, bro.
Hey, look.
I'm not going to jump in this conversation.
Yeah.
Hey,
Actually, all my teams is not bad. You know, my
No, hey,
Bulldogs
yeah,
are
all my
good,
teams,
but
because I'm a Pelicans fan too now. So yeah, they not
oh
bad.
yeah, all your teams garbage.
Yeah, they're fighting for a play-in game. That's not that bad,
All
Terrence.
right, but what about the LeBron Lakers?
You're not a
Listen,
Lakers fan. You're a LeBron fan. Remember?
That's
Yeah,
why I
you're
said
a
I knew I was
LeBron
gonna
fan.
catch you one day. I knew I was gonna
that's
catch you one day.
that's why I said the LeBron Lakers.
Nah.
It's
You just a
LeBron
LeBron
first.
fan.
It's LeBron first, then it's the Lakers.
Come on, man. You was a Lakers fan, a Cleveland fan, the Irish fan, the Heat
No,
fan. I mean,
listen,
Mary
hold on,
St. James.
time out. I was a semi-Laker fan from 3 years ago when Lonzo came. Lonzo left. Now I like the Pelicans. But LeBron, I still rock with LeBron.
I know. Hey, look, we'll get on track one day. We'll get on track one day, man. We'll get on track.
Listen,
right.
I can't wait till we get back in studio, man. And everybody that's been asking to be a guest on the show, we got y'all. We just waiting to get back in studio. We waiting for this thing to calm down. I mean, the way North
You can't
Carolina is
call
going.
into the show though.
Huh?
You can't call into the show though.
Oh yeah. But I mean, guess they want to be live in studio because they want to get chewed up live in studio. They really don't want to get chewed up over the phone.
They just want to be on camera, bro. That's what.
That's what it is. Y'all not low. Yeah.
Hey, I mean, technically, you're still on camera now. I mean, you still get chopped and chewed up right now too.
Yeah, they want to be on camera and get the merch, man.
But
Fox Sports got merch.
But we working on the merch too. We working on merch. We working on everything. Don't think just because we ain't putting out stuff every week that we not working. We still grinding. And everybody stay safe. Keep supporting. Go to the Instagram page, go to the Facebook page, go to our individual pages. Hit us up. Let us know what you want to talk about or what you want us to talk about. And if you want to be a guest or featured during these video podcasts, let us know until we get back to the studio. But it's your boy T.
Share, subscribe, follow, whatever it may be. We appreciate the support.
Most definitely. Can't do it without fans. That's what I mean by sports. Can't do it without the sports fans, dog.
Yes, sir.
And I want to wrap this up by saying the Los Angeles Lakers will be the NBA champs, and the Yankees are going to win the MLB championship.
They're trying to leave on a good note.
Yeah, because your predictions haven't been good this year. Like
they
10
really
and 6.
haven't.
Let's not forget 10-6.
I'm just
all
saying.
Right, nobody.
Listen. Since last year.
Nobody. Hold on. Let's not talk Baker Mayfield 1 and Baker Mayfield 2.
Hey, at the time.
Let's not talk.
Hold on now. Why you laughing? You was on it too. Wait a minute.
That's why I said Baker Mayfield 1 and Baker Mayfield 2.
Hey, look. At the time when we made that prediction,
Baker Mayfield is going to be an MVP. That's all I kept hearing.
No.
Whoa, we ain't never say that. Whoa.
Yo, hold on.
We ain't never say that.
He said a playoff push.
No, yeah. Listen, he beat Baltimore, and it was it. Y'all was calling him Great White Hype.
I didn't say that. Nah, you going back up. You going back up north talking with your peeps, man. You ain't say nothing like that down here.
That's the pass, all right? That's the pass.
All right, cool. Well, 10-6 is the pass. I didn't know Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold was going to have mano y mano.
You proved your point. You got it. We're even.
All right, cool. Sports is about to start back up, and then we'll get on track with our predictions then.
That's a bet.
No doubt.
Well, this wraps up this episode of Quarantine. It's your boy T.
It's your man TJ.
It's your boy Nam. You like that, don't you?
Oh, that hookah. All that cool shit.
All that cool shit.
Here we go.
All right, man. Let's go. Los Angeles Lakers.
All right.